The quantum realm is jam-packed with secrets that the MCU has yet to explore. Seriously, the quantum realm is arguably the linchpin to the MCU's entire multiverse saga, and there's still so many hidden details that could change everything we thought we knew about the MCU. You ready? Let's talk about the secretiest quantum realm secrets that have ever secreted. What? Right now. Doom is really the villain we're all waiting for, right? Look, I know Kang is a big deal and is incredibly exciting, but I do think there's more hype surrounding the evil dictator of Latveria. With Wakanda Forever passing up an opportunity to introduce Doom, the question becomes just where he will make his big debut. But maybe his big debut will instead be a small debut? Perhaps in the quantum realm? Yeah, that's right, the quantum realm could be hiding Doctor Doom. There's comic precedent to this, I promise. So in a super early Fantastic Four comic, Doom is hit with a shrink ray and disappears. Although presumed to be a goner, he actually finds himself in the Microverse, which is what the quantum realm is called in Marvel Comics. Doom does his Doom shtick and ends up taking over one of the worlds there called Mirwood, and basically the Fantastic Four go in after him to stop the madman. They're actually captured by Doom, and Ant-Man is forced to come to their rescue. Could the reason we haven't seen Doom in the MCU yet be because he's been trapped in the quantum realm? Could that be where all the Fantastic Four currently are?
Clever girl.
Ant-Man director Peyton Reed has made no secret that he wanted to direct a Fantastic Four movie, so could the MCU let him play with these characters a bit in the third Ant-Man movie before spinning them off in their own adventure? Man, there's so much potential here. I mean, if you think about it, the MCU would benefit narrative-wise by teaming up Kang and Doctor Doom to be major multiverse saga threats, and maybe the quantum realm is where they meet. We know the quantum realm is a major part of the MCU, but we haven't really gotten into how it started. There's a chance that's a storyline we just will never have time to fully explore, but I hope we do, because it's pretty awesome. It all starts with a time traveler named Wayfinder, a prince from 15,000 years in the future who became a time explorer. What had happened was that in the future, Wayfinder found what was called the Sword in the Star, which has murky origins, but is theorized to be the future version of Excalibur, and the star that it resided in was Galactus's ultimate form. Wild. So upon finding the sword, Wayfinder was able to transport his people millions of years into the past to escape danger, but they soon realized that what they traveled back to was the Microverse. Now, that would be an insane movie to explore its origins, but given the MCU loves to tweak things, do you think it's possible they'll give Kang the Conqueror Prince Wayfinder's backstory and make him the creator of the quantum realm? That would certainly go a long way in establishing Kang as a bigger threat than Thanos. I think the Hulk deserves some love, and that's where the quantum realm comes into play. Did you know that Hulk basically went through his Planet Hulk storyline before the Planet Hulk comic, only in the quantum realm instead? Yeah, that's right, the not-so-jolly green giant found himself in the Microverse and stumbled upon the kingdom of Kai. The beings here are all green-skinned, so they didn't freak out when they saw the Hulk, and that really helped with his body image issues. He fell in love with the princess of Kai, Jarella, and eventually became the kingdom's champion and savior. Hulk obviously didn't stay there and was eventually zapped away from the place that made him happy, but that makes me wonder how we could get a Hulk adventure in the quantum realm in the MCU. How darkly funny would it be if after all these years of asking for a Planet Hulk movie, the MCU said nah and just did the quantum realm version of that story instead? It sounds silly, but honestly, that might be a way to tell a version of the story without rehashing what already happened in Thor Ragnarok. Okay, the negative zone is a completely separate thing from the Microverse in Marvel Comics, but I wonder if the MCU will combine the two together to make for an easier learning curve for general audiences and for time's sake. Like, we already have the quantum realm in the MCU, and we've only just begun to scratch the surface of all of its nooks and crannies. So would it really be wise to introduce an entirely different negative zone with its own set of rules and the necessary setup?
Hello?
As much as I want to see the MCU continue to expand to all corners of the multiverse and really push its limits, I do think there's value in fleshing out the areas we already have. So that's why I think the negative zone could be part of the quantum realm. That would allow for the Fantastic Four to be directly involved with the quantum realm, since the negative zone and Marvel's first family go hand in hand. I want to build off that point for a second, because the microverse in the comics isn't just one big place. It's made up of its own planets and worlds and civilizations that would just blow your mind. I mean, remember my first Doctor Doom entry? Remember how I said he took over a civilization and battled the Fantastic Four? Yeah, well, when he captured the heroes, he tried to give them as slaves to the lizard men on planet Talk. Lizard men in the quantum realm. And then I already mentioned Kai, where the love-struck Hulk hung out for a bit, and on top of that, there's Kaliklak, which has a bug-like species. There's worlds like Mita, Koronar, and Spartak, and a whole host of different places we don't even know about yet. I mean, in the MCU, we know Bill Murray is in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and I'm just saying it's not out of the question that he hails from a quantum realm planet where everyone just looks like Bill Murray. It's a long shot, but not impossible.
I'd say the chance of departure is 80%.
So as I talk about all these new fancy worlds, the question becomes if we could ever have a full-on quantum realm set film. Yes, I know that Ant-Man 3 primarily takes place there, but I'm pretty optimistic that most of them will make it out by the end of that movie. I think there should be a permanent team in the MCU that exists solely in the quantum realm to further all the microverse adventures, and that's where the Micronauts come into play. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Another team in the MCU? Wouldn't this be sort of similar to Eternals? But here's the great thing about the Micronauts. They can exist in their own sandbox and not be beholden by the constraints of the MCU. What was everyone saying about Eternals when it came out? For one, everyone kept asking where they were during a Thanos, and the explanation wasn't great. And then the ramifications of the Earth being a celestial and now there being a giant dude sticking out of the ocean has been ignored so far, which is pretty baffling. A Micronauts series could sidestep all of that because it's in the MCU, but not on our Earth. The team is bold, vibrant, and has such great material to pull from that I really think it could be a gold mine for the MCU. And overall, it just gives us more quantum realm. So if the Micronauts are in there somewhere, I think it's time to show them. I want to spend the next few entries talking about more specific characters that we could see in the quantum realm and how that would affect the overall MCU. First up is Lord Gouzar. Now, this is a relatively minor villain in the grand scheme of things, but could have interesting narrative implications. When Janet Van Dyne was trapped in the microverse in the comics, her biggest enemy was Lord Gouzar, who basically was another tyrant set on ruling over the microverse. He also looks like a big centaur, which to me only makes him more intimidating since I'm legitimately terrified of horses. That's a fun fact about me. Anyways, in the lead up to Ant-Man 3, we know that Janet is afraid of the quantum realm and knows that something or someone bad is down there. And while she could have history with Kang, does that really work with the timeline of things? Because wouldn't it be that Sylvie and Loki broke the sacred timeline and unleashed Kang after Janet was trapped there? Then who would Janet be afraid of? Probably Lord Gouzar.
It's okay.
If you're looking for a big bad of the microverse that the Micronauts could face, then that title should really belong to Baron Karza, another tyrant, but one who did successfully succeed at ruling over the center of the microverse homeworld for a bit. And by a bit, I mean like 1,000 years. Baron Karza staged a coup against the royal family of Homeworld, but failed and almost perished. He then learned the secrets of power and immortality, and then tried again. This time he succeeded. He's probably most well known for creating body banks, which harvests limbs and organs and then sells them to people who need it. My thing with Kang in the microverse is that as cool as it is, I just hope it doesn't mean we wouldn't see more microverse villains in the MCU. I love Psycho Man, mainly because he has a top 10 greatest villain names in Marvel Comics. I mean, come on, his name is Psycho Man. Step aside Yellow Jacket or Whiplash or anyone else with a lackluster name because Psycho Man rules. He's also, I think, an incredibly funny villain. And yeah, don't get me wrong, he's extremely dangerous with his powers to manipulate the emotional and mental state of those around him, basically making him an evil mantis, but he had the desire to cross over into our universe because he thought that would be easier to conquer. But when he got here at first, he couldn't grow beyond a microscopic level, forcing him to walk around in a human-sized exoskeleton. I don't know why, but that's a hilarious concept to me. Like Plankton controlling SpongeBob or something.
This will be the beginning of the end.
Could the Silver Surfer be in the quantum realm? I mean, there's comic precedent. One time, the Silver Surfer wanted to escape from Galactus, so he hid in the Microverse, which makes a lot of sense when hiding from a giant planet devourer, right? Anyways, Galactus was basically lonely and came looking for the Surfer, which forced the Fantastic Four to go into the Microverse to find him and convince him to come back out. How interesting would it be if the Surfer was introduced as a character already tired of serving Galactus and trying to escape from him? That way it wouldn't be a rehash of the Rise of the Silver Surfer movie, plus give us more quantum realm action. I mean, come on, would your mind not be blown if Ant-Man 3's post-credit scene saw Silver Surfer hanging out in the quantum realm? Besides just random heroes and villains who could be chilling in the quantum realm, there's also some broader power forces at work in the Microverse. I'm talking about the Enigma Force, otherwise known as the God of Light. Similar to the Phoenix Force, the Enigma Force is pretty dang powerful, and that's putting it a little lightly. But the cool thing that I want to mention about the Enigma Force is that it has the ability to bond with a host and grant them the Unipower, which gives someone the powers of Captain Universe. It basically makes them all powerful by giving them cosmic consciousness and the ability to manipulate matter and energy. The question I think for this becomes, who do you think will be the first character in the MCU to become a Captain Universe? I mean, both Spider-Mans, meaning Peter Parker and Miles Morales, have been a host before, but now they're more street-level heroes. X-23 was a big host for the entity. Deadpool even became Captain Universe. I'm just saying, there's a lot of options. To piggyback off the Enigma Force, I just wanted to say that the Quantum Realm also has the ability to grant abilities and powers that we don't even know about yet. Janet left the Quantum Realm in the MCU and came back with energy flowing through her that would eventually help Ghost. I'm just saying, people could come out of the Quantum Realm with incredible new powers, which should make us all afraid of Kang and what he can accomplish once he's free.
This is wild.
The Quantum Realm is full of such potential, and I want to see the MCU utilize it properly. What about you? Anything cool about the Quantum Realm you want to see? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, and I heard clicking on the video on your screen right now keeps Kang in the Quantum Realm a little longer, so what are you waiting for? Do it now!